Recently, Donald Trump's former campaign co-manager, Chris Las Savita, did an interview for some reason with Politico. Before I even get into it, I do want to talk for a second about just how weird and kind of stupid that is, right? Why are you talking to Chris Las Savita, because he was the co-manager of Donald Trump's campaign, a campaign that basically ended November 5th? He's not a part of the Trump administration. Why are you talking to him? That seems like a waste of time. And it seems like you're just trying to get access to people, and that is never a reason to do something like that. It's a self-serving piece of garbage, essentially. However, this piece of garbage did yield some wonderful information. Not in a good way, though. Wonderful information that tells us how horrible Donald Trump and all the people he's ever surrounded himself with truly are. Because during this interview, LaCivita said that the people freaking out about the economy doing so horrible right now are nothing but, in his words, a bunch of bedwetters. Here is how that exchange took place. LaCivita said, "The thing that I've been watching, though, is the stock market, as I know a lot of folks in business have been watching. A bunch of bedwetters," he says. And then the interviewer, Dasha Burns, said, "But folks with a 401k, Chris, I think that President Trump and to some extent others like Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent have started to have a more frank conversation with the American people saying, hey, yeah, there might be some disturbance in the short term." And LaCivita responded by saying, quote, "Look at the amount of times there were disturbances in the last 4 years that went on for weeks. Don't get me wrong, I'm not lessening the impact. I have the same accounts in the same 401ks that other people have. Here are the things that have to change. It's a recognition that we have to do something overall to create more of a trade balance. I remember when the Wall Street Journal went after the president on the steel tariffs back in his first term, and actually they were 100% wrong, and the tariffs actually helped the industry. Look, I'm not discounting the fact that there's a lot of shock therapy going on right now. It's very fast. It's a lot. It's literally ripping the Band-Aid off. Just that momentary pain of ripping the Band-Aid off," he says, and then it's over. Because, during the Biden administration, there were so many disruptions to the stock market. They went on for weeks. Nope. No. That actually didn't happen. And it would have been great had the reporter who was doing the interview actually mentioned that. But they didn't. And then, of course, the steel tariffs. Oh boy, those helped the industry. No, they didn't. They absolutely did not. These people lie with impunity. They literally make things up and nobody calls them on their crap. And this is what we call media. This is what Politico thinks is a good job of journalism. It's ridiculous. It's insane. But so too is the way that this administration and apparently their surrogates like LaCivita are talking about it. They're no longer telling us that everything is fine and great and dandy and rosy. Instead, they're telling us that, yeah, things are going to be bad, but don't worry, they're only going to be bad for a few seconds, right? Now, you just a couple of minutes of pain, and then, hey, everything's great and wonderful, and all the prices will magically go down. The trade imbalances that have existed for decades upon decades upon decades are going to disappear overnight because nobody has ever thought to do what Trump is doing. No, we have actually at one point in history actually thought to do what Trump did when we were experiencing similar kind of economic times during something called the Great Depression. Republicans who were in control at the time said, you know what we should do? Let's put tariffs. Let's do a bunch of tariffs. And quick history quiz here. Did that help pull us out of the Great Depression, or did it make our economic situation worse? That's right, it made our economic situation worse, which is why such a thing was not repeated by subsequent presidents. Until now. It doesn't help. When instituted gradually, pointedly, tariffs can have an effect. Trump didn't do that, though. Trump decided to be an absolute idiot, put them on everything, everyone, then take them off, then put them on, then take them off, then put them on, then threaten more, then threaten more, then threaten less. We don't know on any given moment, on any given day, what the hell he's going to do. And that is causing massive instability in the market. That's not a Band-Aid. That's a crazy person that keeps putting the Band-Aid on you and ripping it off repeatedly. And you didn't even have a cut to begin with. But he's doing it because nobody can stop the lunatic and his pack of Band-Aids. So that's what's really happening, and it would have been wonderful if Politico had actually reported that. Thanks for watching, everybody, and if you're not already, please subscribe to the channel. We got fresh content every day for you. And if you want to follow us across social media, make sure you check out all of the social links that we have posted in the description of this video.